Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I am so proud to honor the San Francisco Youth Baseball League. The San Francisco Youth Baseball League is the largest and oldest youth baseball league in San Francisco. SFYBL, as it's commonly known, is currently a partnership between the San Francisco Recreation and Parks Department and SF Flame, San Francisco Fire Department's youth athletics program. SFYBL is run by the board and partners and volunteer commissioners. I'd like to highlight some of the RPD staff, Rec and Park staff, who made this possible and were some of the groundbreaking leaders in promoting SFYBL. Gerald Reeder, if he can stand and be recognized. Linda Bernard. Linda Bernard, Jimmy Chin, and from SF Flame, Donnie Bendo. They're all here in attendance. We also have the San Francisco Recreation and Parks Advisory Commissioners, Emmanuel Blackwell, Vic Reed, and Nathan Birnbaum. Thank you for all your help. Division Commissioners Aaron McClure, Allison Rupp, Scott McDonald, Brent Llewellyn, and Melissa Anderson-Hinn. Thank you for all your help. With over 30 years of experience, this partnership continues to give San Franciscan kids the fields, the services, the commitment necessary to experience competitive and fun youth baseball with unique opportunity of forming their own team, and it's done at a price affordable to all working families. I want to emphasize that. If you look at a lot of the travel baseball leagues or any of the travel sports, you're talking about thousands of dollars. And this was accessible to working families for less than $200, around $100 plus. It included the uniform, it included the coaching, it included the access to all of the equipment, all of the things. And I just want to overemphasize that is something that is unique to San Francisco, and that's how we put our money where our mouth is when it comes to sports in this city. This summer, San Francisco was able to return after a 2-year hiatus given COVID to All-Star play, fielding 3 teams at the 10U, 10-year-olds, 12U, and 14U level, many of whom were playing up in their league and playing in a mixed division. All 3 of our teams competed in independent tournaments, scrimmages, and official Pony All-Star play in the 2022 Coast Region Tournament and 2022 NorCal Super Region Tournament. The city of San Francisco is proud of all of our players and young people, our coaches, for their achievements that they made this summer. In just a few short weeks, these group of kids that had never played together before on the same team worked very hard, bonded as friends, and prepared for fierce competition from all over Northern California and the coastal region. They represented our city with great integrity, determination, and love for the game of baseball. I would particularly like to highlight our 10U team for bringing home the gold medal of the Coast Region Champions and the silver medal from the NorCal Super Region Tournament. They were 1 game away from going down to Orange County and following the footsteps of Gerald Reeder and the team that he fielded a couple of years ago. So it was an amazing tournament. It was 103 degrees. Let me emphasize that. We would be leaving our city, and the difference in temperature in many cases was almost 50 degrees. They had to stop play sometimes to take water breaks, and some of the families out there were like, hey, if you can't take the heat, go back to San Francisco. So we said, well, we'll play you on a cold day at Crocker Amazon. Let's see how you like that. But it was amazing for the families that came out. I want to recognize all the parents, all the volunteer effort, and it was a tremendous opportunity, and it was a show of leadership for these younger teams. We have 2 of the teams here today, our 10U and our 14U, with their families and their coaches and managers. I'm going to read off some of the names of the participants as we prepare the commendation and ask the managers of each, the 10U and the 14U, to come up after I'm done recognizing the names to say a few short words. So for our 10U SF All-Star team, we had manager Jeff Hinn. Jeff, please stand up, come over here and be recognized. We had Coach Alex Zabo. I don't know if he's here with us today. And then we also had Coach Peter Sutherland. Oh, yeah, there you are. Come on up.
If we could, just real quick, could we save our applause? Because he's going to announce a lot of names, so we can save our applause.
So you coaches, you guys come stand over here, and then I'll call you up in a moment. So the players of the 10U team, I'm going to call their names out. We had DJ Hin. We had Quentin Q. Cole. We had Hayes Swanson. We had Theo Senk. We had Laith Endres. We had Pierce Powell, Wes Zabo, Omar Moore, Isaiah Suda, Kai Mitchell, Hank Coffey, Milo Sutherland, Rumi Safai, Miles Curran, and Bodie Ferrero. Thank you to the 10U team for all your tremendous work and your championship, and their parents. You guys can stand up. Stand up. The 10U team, please stand up. All the 10U players, stand up. All right, Rumi, settle down. Okay. It's got to be my son. 14U SF All Stars team, we had manager James Burke. Thanks, James. Come on up. We had Coach Vic Reed, and we had Coach Alejandro Hernandez. And if I'm not mistaken, Coach James Burke is also the coach at Lincoln? Yeah, at Lincoln High School varsity team, so we're proud to have him playing both roles. So the players on the 14U team were Alan Au, Elliot Beach, Nicholas Chu, Dominic Debrunner, Roberto Enriquez, Leonardo Felder, Reggie Fong, Sebastian Hillman, Jerry Howe, Camden Iwamiwa, Trevor Matthews, Milo, Sidawi Auden, Slava, Chester Thornton, and Mason Wong. If the 14U team can stand up. And I want to particularly thank them. They came and gave a lot of encouragement to our 10U team when they were playing. We had an instant fan base, and that gave them a boost of confidence. So I really want to thank them for being good role models for our 10U team. So if we can hear from Manager Jeff Hinn, why don't you come up and say a couple words, and then we'll ask Manager James Burke to say a couple words. Oh, go right ahead.
My speechwriter. Well, first, thank you, Supervisor Safai and the entire Board of Supervisors for taking the time today to honor our city's All-Stars.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I face this way? Is that okay, though?
I think that's all right today.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I can...
Go ahead.
So it's a privilege to accept this award on behalf of the 10U team, which is a mixture of 9 and 10-year-olds. This is a group of young kids that showed themselves to be champions on and off the baseball field, battling through adversity and difficult physical and emotional obstacles. As coaches, it's our job to put you guys in a position to have the greatest chance of success. But in the end, it's about what you guys do between the white lines, and you guys were awesome. In just about 5 weeks, you went from a group of individual baseball players to a team that were champions of the coastal region and runners-up in the super regional, really close to representing Northern California in the entire western zone of the United States. But while your baseball success was obvious, I want to bring attention to your success as young people of character. I told you more than once that the true test of your character would not be how you respond when you win, but rather when you lose. And you were champions in that too. After our late-night heartbreaking loss to Rockland, you could have hung your heads, lost your next game, and gone home. But you guys didn't do that. You did the opposite. You came back to win the next 2 games in 105-degree heat, went home for a little bit of sleep, and then came back and beat that same Rockland team that we had just lost to. That got us into the championship game, another game with extreme heat that you guys battled. We played a really good team. At one point in the 5th inning, when it was kind of clear that the end was near, I gave you guys a challenge. And at that moment, our victory became not winning the baseball game, but continuing to compete, to not quit, to play 6 innings. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm so incredibly proud of you guys, not only for your victory on the baseball field, but for overcoming that adversity through the entire tournament. You guys should be really proud too. This was a magical ride. I'm honored to have done it with you guys. Also, clearly, this was a group effort. So several people I want to thank on behalf of all the coaches. First of all, for me, Coach Peter and Coach Alex, thanks you guys for what we did on the field and supporting the team and myself off the field as well. To all the parents, to make the commitment to this process. And then also to many of you who took an extra role in practice and in the games. You know who you are. Thank you very much for that. To Renee Zabo and Melissa Anderson-Hinn for all the work you guys did behind the scenes to make this thing happen. Gerald Reeder and Donnie Bendo and SF Flame and the entire SFYBL Board of Directors. Thank you guys for what you did, for the support that you gave us to put us in a chance to have success. Really appreciate it. Finally, to SFRPD and the entire city of San Francisco, we are grateful for this opportunity to represent the city in this great game of baseball, and we look forward to continuing to show you the incredible value of competitive baseball and the importance of investing in the growth of our very own youth baseball league. Teamwork really does make the dream work, not only on the field, but also out in the world. It takes all of us working together to invest in the growth and success of our city's kids. They are our future leaders, and investing in them and more opportunities for them to have experiences like this one we had this summer is our greatest hope for building a better world together. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the next manager, come on up.
Hello. As you heard, my name is James Burke. It's an honor to be here. First, I just kind of want to go into, I was born and raised in San Francisco. I've been here my whole life. I went to City College, went to SF State. I played baseball in college. I went to Lowell, AP, Gin and Ninny. I just never left. Vlad is in the same situation over here, born and raised in San Francisco, never left. Baseball in the city, when we left, especially when I went to go on in college and things, we always talked about, man, there's just so much talent in the city. How can we make this such a great experience, and how could we help everybody here? I was lucky enough to join SFYBL and Rec and Park, who kind of understood that vision and how baseball could really strive and move forward in the communities, and how can really bring everybody together. One of the things right now, as many people know, I'm also the coach at Lincoln High School. I did coach at Lowell as well. I'm also the coach of the club baseball team at USF. I also am the coach at Presidio Middle School. I also do a Rec and Park team. I have Vlad over here, who I also am a full-time teacher at IDB Wells High School in San Francisco. Vlad over here works at Hoover Middle School and also a baseball coach there as well. And one of the things we both talked about was like, man, we've never come to City Hall our whole lives, and we're here. This is like our second time. And how much of an honor it is to be here. And right when I walked in, I looked at my team and I was like, kind of cool. Like, you guys been here before? Like, they were like, no, this is really cool. And all the families were talking about how awesome this is. And it's moments like this that people remember. I coach all those teams and have a whole bunch of moments. And it's moments I remember from playing in San Francisco All Stars myself growing up. I still remember those summers. Those are my favorite summers. And then I think about high school. Then I think about college. But I always remember San Francisco All Stars and how it meant to represent San Francisco. And I try to tell these kids, this is why I still do this. Coach all these other teams. I'm tired. And also I'm like, I'm going to do SF All Stars. Let's go. It's super fun for me. And again, it comes back to the honor. And why we're honoring this team is the support and commitment. I've coached all those teams, the parents and the players. The commitment that they gave to this team was just incredible. They were there for everything. We made them come to 15 practices, 15 games, show up in the 104-degree heat. We went 11-4. We beat the regional champs in a Pleasant Hill champion tournament. This team did a lot. We asked them to show up. We asked them to keep coming to all these practices, and they kept getting better and better. They grew bonds. They built friendships that will probably last forever in high school. It was a great summer to be a part of. And probably most of all, and I think everybody should be proud of this, and this is why I feel like they should be honored. Every team that we came in contact with, and parents might not know this, but every parent, every team that coached, the head of umpires in San Francisco, the pony head, also Don Simon, they all came up to us and they were like, we're rooting for San Francisco. Every time we came up, they're like, the way they're a class act, they're respectful, they have energy, they're fun to be around, they cheer each other on. It's everything it should be. Every single time, I always got compliments from everybody. I never got anything bad. They're like, hey, we got a good relationship with that team. And there was always bickering between other teams. They're like, no, we love San Francisco. And that just speaks volumes to where we're at, right? And that's just amazing. It's something to talk about. So when we think about honoring this team, that's all these players. They did that. That's amazing. The parents, everybody, both teams, the parents, the kids, everything. It was just an awesome summer. They represented San Francisco well. And again, I also want to talk about Vic Reed because I didn't do that. He was the vet in the group that always said the right things at the right time. He's been doing this forever. He's part of the reason why baseball is where it is. He's gotten so many kids to the next level in San Francisco. Thank you, Vic Reed. Thank you again to everybody, 14U, 10U. This has been amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to go outside because we have to continue the meeting, but I just want to thank Manager Hinn. I want to thank Manager Burke and all of the families, all the kids. Thank you for putting your heart and soul into SFYBL, into the SF All Stars, and we're going to keep making youth baseball something that's accessible to all families in San Francisco. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Supervisor.
So we're going to go outside, and all the kids are going to get a commendation if we can go out here on the steps. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations again. Thank you.